Hi! How's it going? Everything is great, and there's actually nothing to talk about, so smash the like, subscribe, hit that little bell thing, and you'll get alerts when I make a new video, and this has been great. Bye-bye. Yeah, no, things are pretty awful right now. And actually, that's not just now. It's been awful for a long time, and we're taking a good hard look at it right now. The media is going to move somewhere else, and we'll be focused on something else. But for right now, I think it's time to rest in this and learn something. Especially if you look like me. This is what I'm thinking about. More important than watching this video right now is listening to the people whose lives are actually, for real, every single day, being affected by racially motivated violence. So yeah, turn off this video and go listen to them. So, you're a white person and you're angry. Okay, cool. That can go in a bad direction. I'm a white person and I'm really angry. We're gonna stop, drop, and roll. You need to reflect and discover whether your anger is righteous anger or if it's the demonic, hellish kind that usually results in violence and sin. Take just a single minute even and listen. Is the thing you're about to do because you're so mad gonna be a really nasty sin? Or is it going to be seeing the injustice in the world and doing something about it? Because that's exciting, and that is Christian. We're going down that path. Let's say your anger is absolutely righteous. You're seeing people being murdered. You're seeing people who look like you, people who look like me. When I see Karens like myself, responsible for literal death, then what do? Okay, step 2 is also listen. Listen to the people who God would be listening to. And if you want more information about that, I'll point you in the direction of the Beatitudes. When Jesus is saying, blessed are the poor, blessed are the oppressed, blessed, 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 listen to the blessed people. Listen to the blessed people who are being targeted by our government for the color of their skin. We are called by this thing, this thick piece of writing. You know, I'm totally struck by, this is a little off topic, every single word in here, not only did one person think it was important enough to write down, but generations of people painstakingly copied it so that we would have it today. This isn't just the word of the Lord, this is the word of millennia of people saying, I need more people to hear this. This is a book of listening. This is a book of listening. So if you listen to this, you also need to listen to the people around you. You need to listen to cries for help and for justice. And when the earth is crying out, when people are crying out, you need to listen, and then act. And in the act of acting, is that real? Did I say it? Whatever. When you do that, when you do something, it's magic. People really can change the way the world is. Sin is not permanent. We weren't just handed racism from on high and we have to accept that it's just the way it is. That is a myth. That is a myth propagated by the people for whom it's easy. If I support order over justice, it's out of fear. It's out of a very personal fear that I might be in the same kind of danger that order puts people in every day. The good news is the sin is not handed down from on high and permanent. We can change it. The bad news is we're gonna give up a lot to change it. It is hard. But ultimately, it's what side of the Beatitudes do you want to be on, you know? Whole camel needle thing. Here's a story about listening, and it's from Acts. Acts 16. Let's start at 25. So Paul and Silas have been preaching. They just exorcised. Not exercise. They exorcised this poor enslaved woman who was possessed by a demon and could do magic, and so then people were making money off of her doing that magic. I wish that the writer of Acts followed that line a little bit more, because she sounds really interesting, but we'll go ahead with Paul. Paul and Silas get thrown into prison for ruining that livelihood. In jail, they start praying. God hears them, causes an earthquake, and everyone is set free. When the jailer woke up and saw that the prison doors were wide open, he drew his sword and was about to kill himself when Paul shouts in a loud voice, "Do not harm yourself, for we are here." And the jailer turns around and says, "How can I be saved?" And what he's talking about is being freed from prison. He was imprisoned in this systemic sin, right, that had him as a cog in this angry machine that protected wealth and threw Paul into jail. And this jailer sees what happens. He listens. He listened to their prayers throughout the night. He listened to this massive earthquake. Hard not to listen. And then he asks a question and he listens again because Paul says, turn to Jesus, pray on Jesus. And what Paul is really saying there is listen to this gospel of love. And then he takes action. And he brings Paul and Silas to his house and he cleans their wounds and they eat together. He got over whatever embarrassment he had about being in the wrong, and he's freed from his own prison. That is a story about listening. Listen to that story about listening and then go out and listen some more. How many times can I say listen in one episode? I think it's probably like ding, 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 hundreds, whatever. It's so important. And it's not just important this time. I think there's this myth that Christians are either supposed to be completely passive, sitting in the pews, sort of like ingesting the gospel somewhat, or they're supposed to be like Dorothy Day and like dive into something, just devoting your whole being to this one cause. And, you know, that is admirable. That is what a lot of saints have done. Is that realistic? I think that when average Christians like me are looking around at the world, we need to say, I want to hold on to my righteous anger. I'm going to hold on and I'm going to keep listening and I'm going to keep taking action. And not just about this one thing, this 1 week. I'm going to make a donation this week. After you've gotten mad and stopped and listened and then listened again and then taken some action, like donating or whatever, it's time to stop again. And slow down and pray. Maybe even meditate. It's what the Desert Fathers did. It's what the monks do, and I hear it works great. It's very difficult to do because being quiet is hard. But the more quiet you are, the easier it is to listen. And I'm telling you, like, God has a lot to say. Whether it's through other people or whether it's directly this gut feeling that, like, you're called to do something. Do I have the strength to be that jailer? Guys, I'm, like, really white. Like, I'm looking at the screen right now and I am literally the same color as my wall. It's not even, like, a cream-colored wall. It's, like, a straight-up white wall. Like, I'm Nordic as fuck. It just sucks. Like, being angry is sucky. It makes me really sweaty. And, like, sometimes I cry. I don't like it. And sometimes it's hard to piece through and I just want it to go away. So I'm like, let's skip it. Let's move on, you know? As soon as I can start recovering from being angry, I'm like, okay, that was not fun. Let's never do that again. Thing is, with righteous anger, you have to sit in it and it is, it's a gross thing to sit in, right? Ugh. But you gotta sit in it for a long freaking time. Because that's what's actually going to make the sin go away. Not your initial, like, this week my cause is going to be donating to this thing. Which is great. Yes, do that. Wonderful. But the sustainable righteousness, like, that is, like, the Christian weapon against sin. That is the thing that keeps us going. The low, steady, like, I will push this rock of sin. I will get all my friends and buddies and allies together and we're gonna push this thing off this cliff and say goodbye. It's hard to hold on to hope, but somehow I can't shake it either. That's what righteous anger is all about, I think. Also, like, I have no idea what I'm talking about. I don't know how to have a great impact on stuff. There is so much research that I need to do, but I'm committed to doing it and I want to share it with you. This is my Twitter handle right here. Talk to me. I want to talk to you. And if you are someone who looks like me and you're thinking these same things and you don't know what to do, then let's pool our research and try to listen to as many people as we can. Half of worship is listening to God, right? Half of being a Christian is listening. It's listening and then doing something. It's so cool. I'm overwhelmed. Okay, I'm done.